About to go live. Okay. Hi, everyone. Welcome to A Girl in Love with Tech podcast. My name is Rachel Rabo. I'm a Microsoft Learn Student Ambassador, a Power Platform developer, a Dynamics 365 CRM developer. And this podcast is streamed live on LinkedIn, Twitter, and YouTube. And you can get the recorded podcast episode on Instagram, my YouTube channel, Spotify, Anchor Podcast, and also Google Podcasts. So don't forget to subscribe and follow everywhere. Our special guest for today is Derek Johnson, who is the head of products on Microsoft Designer. And he's going to be discussing about what is Microsoft Designer and how it is actually making our lives better. So, hi, Derek.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, thank you so much for accepting our invitation.
Of course. My name's
Yeah,
Derek Johnson. So I lead product for Microsoft Designer. I'm super excited to both introduce it to you and answer any questions you might have about what we're trying to build here.
yeah, awesome. And please, if you have any questions, please feel free to drop your questions on the comment section. Thank you. So, hi, Derek. For those listening to us, and maybe this is the first time they are hearing about Microsoft Designer. So, what is Microsoft Designer?
Yes, look, it's a great question. And what we're trying to do with Microsoft Designer is use AI to make graphics design easier for everyone and really make it so anyone in the planet can go create good looking things for their home, for their business, and everything in between. And we really leverage AI and recent advances in AI to help everyone be creative. And so
Yeah.
we're doing things a little bit differently and hoping that people really like the approach that we're taking relative to other products that are out there.
Yeah, that's amazing. I actually used Microsoft Designer before I spoke to you on Twitter, and I also used it today to actually create a design. I just had to describe what I wanted, and it
Yes.
was actually produced. Yeah, actually
Yes.
created.
Like I
Yeah,
think that's the biggest difference. Most products out there today, you go and search for a template, or
yeah,
perhaps you browse through a big repository of templates, and there's products out there that have over 1 million templates, and so there's a great range of things that you can do there. But we ultimately find that sometimes you just want to ask what you're looking for and have this
that's
tool
true.
help you out. I don't want to go find that needle in a haystack. I
Yeah,
want to be able to upload a photo that I have and say, hey, I'm looking for a header for this document, or I'm
yes,
looking for an Instagram post for a sale on my new candle line.
yeah,
And I want to have AI do that hard work for me. And so that's the approach that we're taking. Just tell us what you want to create. Give us any content like, photographs or
yeah.
videos, and we'll go put it together for you.
That's amazing. That's really amazing. I think there's also one thing that people actually have issues with or they think too much about. They are like, okay, do I have to be an expert? Like when they hear about Microsoft Designer, they think, okay, this is about designing.
Yep.
Do I have to be an expert in order to use Microsoft Designer?
Yeah, you absolutely do not. And I would go so far as to say if you're an expert, there's actually tools out there that are designed for you and your skills.
Yeah,
Microsoft Designer is more for the everyday person. And so,
yeah,
really, again, the goal is to make things easy and get you a great looking design quickly without you having to understand the rules of graphic design or how to use a challenging product. If you've ever used something like Microsoft Office or Google Docs, you're going to feel right at home in Microsoft Designer.
yeah, that's amazing. I think there's also another question that I would love to ask you because I actually use Bing Chat. I asked Bing
Yes.
Chat this question that, okay, when using Microsoft Designer, do I have to use like a license or a subscription to use Microsoft Designer? And I actually got an answer that I can also use it on Microsoft Edge,
Yes, yes.
which is amazing.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
today we're in preview, and so we have no subscription. The product is entirely free to use. We're really ultimately wanting to learn what do you like, how do you use the product, and
okay.
eventually we'll come out of preview and we'll find ways to bring
Yeah,
the product where people are using design tools. And so I think you mentioned Edge. Edge is one of our
yeah,
examples of the other part of what we're doing is trying to make sure that as you have design needs, designers there for you. And so Edge is one example. I could be typing on Twitter in
Yeah.
Edge, and designer can proactively just give you recommendations on what to do to make your tweet or post now
Yeah.
more graphical. And we also rolled out in LinkedIn about a couple weeks back an
That's
experiment
amazing.
there to be able
Yeah.
to automatically create designs right from within the LinkedIn webpage. And so not having to open a new product, but it's all about making things easier and faster for you.
Yeah, and that's really amazing because now with there's nothing like trying to increase productivity. You don't
Yes.
have to stay too long on creating a design. You just and you're
Yes.
done. So it's amazing. Yeah, and Microsoft Designer is definitely on the right path.
Yes. I mean, look, a lot of these things you're going to have, tweets or posts, for example, they don't live on all that long. And so
Yeah,
who wants to spend 2 hours to go try to make a post, more graphical? We want to be able to get you in and out in 30 seconds and get more reach for what you're trying to do. Or if you're trying to run, let's say, a sale for your business, want to make sure you can go get a coupon or a poster or a flyer
yeah,
created really, really fast because again, we understand most people that are using this product, this is not their job. They're not graphic
yeah,
designers. They're trying to do their real job. They need to go sell a product. They need to
yeah,
go take care of the family. And building designs is not part of the schedule.
yeah. And it's amazing. It's really, really amazing. Like with my experience, it's really amazing. And like I said before, Microsoft Designer is definitely on the right path. And I love Microsoft technology a lot because it actually makes life easier. So, yay.
Love to hear that.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, so another question I have to ask you about Microsoft Designer. What do you think, since now it's on preview, what do you think is the future of Microsoft Designer?
We have so much in store. I'm really really excited. I should just say I love building product, and so love talking to customers, understanding what they want to see happen, and then go making it true.
Yeah,
Let me tell you about two different directions that we're heading. One I
okay.
kind of touched on, which is we want to have Microsoft Designer available everywhere that you have design needs. And so I
Yeah,
talked about Edge and LinkedIn. You're going to
yeah,
see it coming to many, many more places, right
okay.
in those places where you just need to attach a design. And so if you've ever come across a product or service where it says upload an image and
Okay.
it just opens up your file explorer and says pick a file, if you're
Yeah.
like me, I'm usually like, oh no, I don't have anything. Those are perfect cases where we want to have designer there. You can just
Okay.
create that right there on the spot. And so
Wow.
you'll see a lot more integrations and making the product available much more easily. Now, on the other side, it's just we want to increase the capabilities of what it
Okay.
can do. And so
Yeah.
over the last couple weeks, we've been making some really good progress on not just exporting kind of single image designs, but being
Okay.
able to export multiple pages. So, like a
Wow.
carousel, for example, you might see on LinkedIn or Instagram,
Okay.
as well as short videos. So, being able to
Wow.
export a reel or a 30-second video that's
Yeah.
animated, that has your content. And again, doing all that, again, in like 30 seconds is the goal.
Yeah.
And so
It's amazing.
being able to do all these things that quickly, we think is going to save people a lot of time.
Yeah, it definitely we do, especially the animated videos. That's amazing.
Yes.
Yeah, because me, I have a lot of issues with designing, so it's actually an amazing product. Yeah. Okay, so I have another question to ask concerning using the description on
Yes.
Microsoft Designer. Do you think that people will have issues with actually describing what they want?
Look, I think that's probably one of the biggest changes in how people work.
Okay.
And we're doing a lot to try to help people transition to just tell us what you want. Um,
Okay.
People are not used to often doing that today. You might go type
Yeah.
in Instagram template for a sale today might be what you go and Google or Bing, for example. We
Okay.
want you to instead just say what you want, but people have not encountered many products that can really fulfill that. And so I think there's going to be some education there.
Yeah.
Uh, what we have seen though is tools like Bing Chat and Chat GPT are really
Yes.
getting people to understand AI has advanced quite a bit in these last several months.
Yeah,
And
sure.
so just in the same way you would ask Bing Chat a plain language question, we're
Yeah.
asking people in Designer to do the same. Now, we have some
Okay.
examples. So when you open up the product, you'll see a grid of examples that
Yeah.
show kind of what you can expect to create. And then when you put your mouse over it, it tells you what that prompt is and what to ask for.
Yeah.
And so we're both going to learn from how people use the product and are they able to express what they're looking for, as well as
Okay.
try to help people form better prompts. And in cases where perhaps they're not doing that, building tooling to go make it more automatic for them.
Okay. That's amazing, especially with the idea of working with what the customers want, like with what people actually want. Is amazing.
Yes.
Yeah, it's
We
really, really
wanted to skip that step. Today, people have to figure out, I know what I want in my head.
yeah.
How do I get this product to do it? And we're just
Yeah.
trying to
Sure.
say, just type in what you have in your head. Let's see how close we get. And then we'll give you a great set of AI assisted tools to customize it further.
Yeah, that's amazing. I think another question I have to ask you about Microsoft Designer. You talked about it using it on LinkedIn with
Yeah.
opportunity of actually using it on LinkedIn and using it on a post. What do
Yes.
you think about considering an organization, for instance? How do you think it can benefit them, Microsoft Designer?
Yeah, that's a great question. So some of the early features we have are brand kits. And
Okay.
so if you have a look and feel, this could be your own personal style. You might
Yeah.
have a color scheme you like and a font that you like to use, or you
Okay.
could be part of a large organization and you have a formal brand. And so
Okay.
we're working to make it where designer can know that style or brand and
Yeah.
always create things that are in line with that brand or style.
Wow,
And
that's
so
amazing.
that will save you time as well. And then, for larger businesses, it makes sure that everything that people create is on brand. And so if you work for,
Yeah.
a large corporation and people are creating things with the wrong font and the wrong colors, that's problematic. But even just to your home use, if there's a color scheme you like, we can go make sure that that shows up in everything you design.
Yeah, that's really amazing because a lot of companies they have their own brand. Like
Yes.
actually following their own brand, that's really, really amazing. And it actually makes things easier too. So
Yes,
yeah.
and look, brand is more than just colors and fonts and logos. We also look at things like the voice. And so
Okay.
another thing Designer does is generates text for you. It can generate headings for your designs. It can just
Yeah.
generate text for the post itself. It can do captions and hashtags. And so that
Yeah.
brand can be extended to, what is your voice? What is it a playful brand? Is it a playful
Yeah.
style or is it serious? And we
Okay.
personalize that to make sure that everything that we're generating is again as close to what you would expect without having to really think about it.
Yeah, that's amazing. I think another question I would love to ask you, and when I actually answered your post on Twitter or on X,
Yes.
was when you talked about sharing tips on how to use Microsoft Designer.
Yes.
So, what do you think are the best tips to actually use Microsoft Designer? What we need to know?
So maybe the first thing I would say is kind of throw away your notion of how these products traditionally work and just type
Yeah.
in what you want it to create. Just start with that because I think that again is a different way of working. Don't
Yeah.
overthink it. Just type in. It doesn't have it doesn't have to be sharp and tight and concise. You can be very long and verbose and describe the colors that you want to see used, what kind of
Okay.
images you want to see, and just see what it comes up with. So I'd say start with that. There's
Okay.
also a really incredible image generation technology built into Designer. And
Yes.
if you haven't played with that, you have to. It's just the kind of tech that is so incredible, and it changes your perspective on what this kind of software can do when you can truly describe anything you want and have an
Wow,
image generated for you.
that's
So
amazing.
start with both of those. And then I can go into even more some of the details that we have just to make life easier.
Yeah. That's amazing. I There's also one thing too that I want to ask. Like when people hear about a new technology, like for instance, Microsoft Designer is a new technology. When people hear about a new technology, they are kind of in between. Like they're trying to decide, should I try this technology or should I wait like
Yes.
stuff like that. What do you think? What do you say to those people?
Look, you should give it a try. I think the product is free in preview, designer.microsoft.com. Honestly, it will take you more time to ask that question than just to give it a shot yourself.
Yeah.
I'm sure as all your listeners have been paying attention, that this world of AI has been advancing so fast.
Yes, it has.
And it's going to change the way people work. It already is, and it will continue to. And so I think it's important at minimum to know what's out there, to know how these products work, what different perspectives all of these tech companies have towards leveraging AI and how we want to use it to help people get their job done and do it more efficiently and more quickly and frankly have a little more fun while they're doing it.
That's like having fun.
I think don't take it too seriously. Just give it a shot. Give yourself 5-10 minutes, pull up a laptop and see what you come up with. If you don't like it, please give us feedback. We'll make it better and come back and try it again later. But I think you're going to like it. I think you're going to, we see people, they approach it first a little curious. How does this thing work? What does it do? And, you use it 3-4 times and you start to get the hang of it. And we see people becoming fans because it's addicting to be able to type in kind of what you want to create, see what happens, and then be able to still customize it. I think that's the important part.
Yeah, it's amazing. Like you've heard from Derek, like you need to give this a try. You need to give Microsoft Designer a try because it's really amazing. And I think there's something I actually love about it is that you don't have to have like a manual. You don't have to read through a manual in order to understand how it works. Once you go to Designer, you're going to see, okay, this is where I need to give a description. This is where I can get like a text where you can write a text, like maybe a heading, a subtitle, and so many other things. So you don't have to, somebody does not have to put you through to show you that, okay, this is what you need to do. This is what you need to do. With seeing it, you already know, okay, this is what I need to do. So it's amazing.
And if you have no idea what to do with it, again, you'll see these visual examples right when you open the app up. And you can click on them. And, some of the examples will be, picture of someone you want to introduce for a podcast. And so you just click on that. It will even prompt you saying, hey, this design works better if you upload a picture of a person. And then it will help you go do that and show you what it can create. And so I can just play around. I think it can do more than you think. And hopefully it gets your gears spinning about what else you can create.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much. This is really amazing. And I love that what Microsoft Designer is doing because I'm a lazy designer. So
yes,
it's amazing. Yeah. So if you're listening to us, please, if you have not started using Microsoft Designer, this is your chance to start using Microsoft Designer and also give your feedback of what you think about it. Yeah.
Look, I know we're part of Microsoft and people think of Microsoft as this very, very large company, but I'll tell you, myself and my team read every single piece of feedback personally that comes in. We value it so much. And so if you're willing to give the product a try, I'd really ask, tell us what you think. If you like it, please say that. You see, I'm here on campus and the team loves that more than anything, to hear people just say, hey, this was really cool. That really keeps us motivated and excited. And if there's something you don't like, we want to hear about it because we want to be able to go change it for you. We release new versions of the app every single day. We're making changes every day, and we're super committed to really making sure this is going to make design easier for everyone and let people focus on their real job and the real passions they have in life, which often is not designing these things. And if it is, that works as well.
Yeah, true. Thank you so much. Thank you for being so dedicated, you and your team.
Of course, the whole team.
So dedicated, for making life easier for us.
Yes.
Yeah. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me or to Derek on LinkedIn. His name is Derek Johnson on LinkedIn. And what is your name on X? I think I've forgotten.
Derek Johnson SV for Silicon Valley. So Derek Johnson SV. Feel free to send me a message. Again, of course, I'm reading them all and I'll respond to everything.
Yeah, thank you. And do you have any advice for our listeners?
Yeah, look, I think I'll say outside of just designer, this is such an exciting time. I've been in tech and product for about 15 years. I
Yeah.
have not seen as exciting of a time as the last 6 to 12 months have been. Uh,
Yeah.
the whole industry is transforming with AI.
Okay.
The things that these products can do is just incredible. You look across other work like Microsoft Copilot, Bing Chat.
Yeah.
Um, you don't want to miss out. You want to be able to understand what's happening
Yeah.
and keep up. And I'd be absolutely shocked if you can't find some products that make your life a little bit easier or at least a little bit more fun. And we hope Microsoft Designer is one of those.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Yeah. Thank you so much, Jerry Justin.
Thank
Thank
you
you.
for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah. And thank you very much, everyone. See you in the next podcast. Bye.